episode 547 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Tonight I will be talking about AEW Dynamite and then go over some of the news going on in the world of pro wrestling. All that right here, right now, 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Hello, Wrestling Fanatics. Welcome, everyone, to tonight's episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. I am Lance Brock, your host. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Time to talk about a brand new episode of AEW Dynamite. And then tonight, after I recap Dynamite, I'll get into some pro wrestling news. But let's get right into this episode of the podcast and talk about tonight's AEW Dynamite live on TBS. Dynamite was live from the E-Market Arena in Savannah, Georgia. Our commentators tonight, back this week, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and Taz. And we start things off on Dynamite this week with the AEW World Champion, Samoa Joe. And then we get the man who was the challenger for that title last week on Dynamite, who had a pretty impressive performance against Joe, the cold-hearted, handsome devil, Hook. Hook gets in the ring and has a microphone with him already, and he tells Joe that he's coming for him. Hook leaves and Joe stays, and he goes on commentary for our opening match on Dynamite this week. And we have Hangman Adam Page taking on one half of the Lucha Brothers, Penta El Zero Miedo, with Alex Abrahantes in his corner. Now this one supposed to go in the rankings to determine the next challenger to face Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship. It is Hangman getting the win here, defeating Penta 13 minutes, 45 seconds. And next up, we get the Undisputed Kingdom. Wardlow is in action, along with Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett in his corner. And he takes on Trent Beretta with Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, and Rocky Romero in his corner. Wardlow gets the win, defeating Trent Beretta 8 minutes 3 seconds. And then after there's a little bit of a disagreement between Trent Beretta and Orange Cassidy, we've kind of seen this different side of Trent Beretta as of late, where he's getting a little frustrated with himself. And next up, another match in the rankings of the next challenger for the world title. We have Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana, and we get the very entertaining Prince Nana dance. And he is taking on the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy, who has his brother Matt in his corner. These two have what I thought was a very good match, but it is Swerve Strickland coming out victorious, getting the win, defeating Jeff Hardy. 13 minutes, 58 seconds. And next up, women's action, as we see Thunder Rosa return to in-ring action on Dynamite, taking on Red Velvet. It is definitely good to see Thunder Rosa back in action on AEW television. This is a pretty good match, and Thunder Rosa gets the win in this match, defeating Red Velvet at 7 minutes, 10 seconds. Next up, we have a match for the AEW World Trios Championships. The Acclaimed, Max Caster, and Anthony Bowens, and Daddy Ass Billy Gunn take on the Mogul Embassy, the team of the Machine Brian Cage, and the Gates of Agony, also with Prince Nana in their corner as well. For the entrance of the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, Max Caster does his usual rap, and Anthony Bowens does his usual thing where he yells the name of the city and then scissors a fan. And they defeat the Mogul Embassy in this trios match to retain the championships at 8 minutes 59 seconds. And now it is time for our main event of AEW Dynamite for this week. And it is the Cope Open. The Rated R superstar Adam Copeland taking on Minoru Suzuki. I talked about this match on Good Morning Wrestling Fans this morning, and I was definitely looking forward to it. And in my opinion, it did not disappoint. I'm going to say it was a real long match, but I wouldn't say that I was really expecting a long match either. But definitely hard hitting. They went out to the floor for a little bit and brawled. But it is Adam Copeland getting the win, defeating Minoru Suzuki, 9 minutes, 26 seconds. I thought this was a really good match. At the end, Adam Copeland got on the mic and just said, Suzuki, respect, offered to shake his hand, and then Suzuki kind of scowled at him and turned away and did not shake the hand of Adam Copeland. Copeland says he would have been disappointed if he did shake his hand, as Minoru Suzuki leaves looking very upset, and Copeland, still in the ring, tells Christian Cage that he is still coming for him. And that was this week's AEW Dynamite. I thought it was a very good show. And we have Collision coming up this Saturday, which the main event, an Escape the Cage steel cage match, which I'm sure will be a great main event, but I'm sure that Collision is going to take a hit this week, going head to head with the WWE Royal Rumble Premium Live event. And don't mean to backtrack here, but something I did forget to mention is that Sting and Darby Allin, it's official, will be challenging for the AEW World Tag Team Championships against Absolute Ricky Starks and Big Bill in 2 weeks. So definitely looking forward to that. But the thing is, not really so sure if they would really put the tag titles on Darby Allin and Sting right now, with Revolution coming up, Sting retiring, unless they have them win the titles, and then at Revolution they have Sting and Darby drop the titles to the Young Bucks in Sting's final match. That could very well be a possibility, but we will just have to wait and see what happens there. So tonight's AEW Dynamite, I thought it was a pretty good episode. Before I get to the news, also once again, I just want to mention real quick, like I talked about this morning, how I was lucky enough to wake up early and watch the New Japan Road to New Beginning show that took place. And I just want to recommend that, actually. Very good show. It was the final match in Kurgan Hall of Katsuchika Okada before he exits New Japan. Before he exits New Japan at the end of this month. And after his match, he cut a very emotional promo. So I definitely recommend checking that out. Maybe you could try out NJPW World, see if you like it, which is now available on Roku. And before, I have kind of tried out, maybe sampled NJPW World a little bit when it first came out. And don't get me wrong, I liked the streaming service, but there was just one thing I was kind of disappointed about, is that it wasn't available as an app on Roku, but as I said, it is now, and I think it's on Amazon's, what's it called, Fire Stick. It's on there too, and some other smart devices and things like that. And of course, I'm sure you can watch on your computer as well. And some more news. Season 5 of Dark Side of the Ring will debut in March with 10 episodes. The 5th season will premiere March 5th, and the subjects have been announced. So here are the subjects of each episode that will take place in Season 5 of Dark Side of the Ring. We have Gentleman Chris Adams, Sensational Sherry, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, Black Saturday, Chris Colt, The Sandman, Earthquake, Harley Race, Buff Bagwell, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake, which, no disrespect to any of the people on the list, or any of the subjects I should say, but out of all the seasons of Dark Side of the Ring, I would say this next season, not saying it's not going to be good, but just hearing the announcements of each episode going into it, I wouldn't say I'm real excited about watching either of the episodes. There's just none of them that really get me, like some of the first ones. You had the Final Days of Owen Hart. You had the Plane Ride from Hell, Brian Pillman episode, different ones like that. Bash at the Beach 2000, different ones that when I heard they were, the Benoit tragedy is another one. And those were episodes where when I first heard they were doing episodes on them, I was looking forward to those ones. But this season, who knows, maybe it'll surprise me. Maybe there actually will be some good episodes. Like, for example, last season, the Doink the Clown episode focusing on Matt Osborne, and the Bam Bam Bigelow one were actually better than I thought they were going to be. So, who knows? This could be a good season of Dark Side of the Ring. Definitely looking forward to talking about that again on Tuesday nights right here on 360 Wrestling Fanatic. And that's all for tonight's episode. Thank you everyone for listening. Remember, you can go in the comment section and leave your feedback and your opinions on tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. Not only that, but you can leave your predictions for this Saturday's WWE Royal Rumble Premium Live event. Once again, that is in the comment section, either right here on Spreaker, YouTube, or whichever podcast app or website you are listening to 360 Wrestling Podcast on. Or if you want, you can email them to me as well, 360wrestlingpodcasts@gmail.com. Or if you have any questions, comments, or anything you want to say, or if you have a company or a business and you want to advertise with 360 Wrestling Podcasts, I'll do a quick ad for you like all the other podcasts do right here on 360 Wrestling Fanatic, Good Morning Wrestling Fans, and the other 360 podcasts. Just email me, 360wrestlingpodcasts@gmail.com. Hope to hear from you soon. And you will be hearing from me tomorrow morning for the Thursday episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. Until then, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.